He's a funny kid, but that's not his thing. Like, if any one of my kids would be a comedian, I've said it before, it's my daughter. I'll be reminded I'm a celebrity here, but I don't think about it at all. Until somebody asks me for a selfie or something like this, it won't even occur to me that that's what it is. Or I think about it separate from what I'm doing. It's almost like a nature reserve where they'll let me run free. I'm a protected commodity. I don't have this thing where I link my self-esteem to work anymore. When you're young, you know that you're only as good as your last show and all that stuff. And so, you'll meet comics who'll do a bad show and then feel bad about themselves. I don't do that anymore. For me, the beauty is in the attempt. The beauty is in like that long walk to the stage, to the microphone. I can't explain it, but that's what it is, like the eye contact. One time I was at a show and my kids were there and I was getting heckled and all kinds of stuff. And I remember I looked at my son, he was standing on the side of the stage and he's looking at all this chaos and I go, son, they'll never break me. And we both started laughing. It was chaos out there. We both started laughing, but that's kind of what it is. It's just like, it's fun. I took my professional life more seriously. I think just as a dude, I had more depth after I had kids. That your opinions about things can change, your view of yourself can change, and yet this is on a permanent record. Like Donald Trump, he complains about it because someone can look at him and say, well, you said in 1984 that this, that, or the other, and that's the cross you have to bear when you engage the press. And more important than that, I talk for a living, so I don't want to blather about me blathering. Well, it started when I was doing a residency at Radio City. And part of the residency, I would have, different comedians and musicians would all come. It was kind of like a great collective or curation of talent. And this particular night, it was the day that riot happened in Charlottesville. You could feel it in the room. There were palpable feelings around it. And Jon Stewart showed up that night. And when he went on, really you could feel the crowd like it was a sigh of relief. You were like a visual cue to be rational, and like the set you did that day was so powerful. We had to recalibrate and kind of put things in perspective. I'm a Black American, so these feelings that people felt right after the election, we felt that many elections consecutively, and I think that to some degree people overreacted. Like the alternative to giving him a chance was storming the streets, and if something good's on television, I'm not doing that. Martin Lawrence is the guy that showed everybody you can make it from DC to Hollywood. And I had a personal stake in his success. Every time he did something, it made me feel inspired and really good. And he was always real nice to me. He'd sit me down, what's going on with you, baby boy? What? We'd talk about comedy, whatever. When we did Blue Streak, we were promoting it, and Martin had a stroke. He almost died. And then after that, I saw him, and I was like, oh my God, Martin, are you okay? And he said, I got the best sleep I ever got in my life. That's how tough he is. So let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, they are trying to kill me? What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take her clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. These people are not crazy, they're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick. The idea for me is that, I grew up in DC and then Ohio, and then, via this gift and the sequence of opportunities, I've seen the world. And more than seeing the world, I've entertained people all over the world, and I've met people all over the world, and I know comedians all over the world, and I've watched the genre that I'm in grow, and it's a good time to be a veteran. I think that it's a symptom of just how maybe bankrupt our society is right now, that we're looking to our entertainers for this type of guidance. But when things are obscure, artists do try to tell the truth. Sometimes it's not like they're looking for the truth. Sometimes they just want to hear their truth come out of somebody else. Like, why don't, you know what I mean? So I don't look at it as a burden, or I don't even look at it as a responsibility. I just think it's the nature of the genre. Few cities in the United States that will give you a true account of how you're doing. And this is one of them, you know? I can see why Prince stayed here. I can see, it just feels like an artistic, fertile artistic soil.